you all want to know a little bit about me on a personal level? I'll tell you today a little secret. I have a little monster that takes over me, and it's called fear. Good evening, Madam President, most distinguished guests, fellow Toastmasters, and guests of the evening. Fear, a simple four-letter word that can actually be powerful and dangerous. It can dominate us and consume our ability to become successful or reach our goal. When I decided to schedule my when I scheduled my icebreaker 3 weeks ago, it actually consumed me every single day. I feared what I would say. I fear revealing too much of me. I fear what you fellow Toastmaster may perceive me. So I decided to go a totally different route, and I asked my husband and kids, what should I say? My husband said, why don't you talk about cooking? You're passionate about cooking. I said, well, that is a nice icebreaker, I guess. My inspiration to cook and my motivation was my mother. I do recall when I was 12 years old, I had to stand on top of a stool to be able to cook for 8. 12, I was determined to cook for them that evening. I became very creative with my cooking because I altered everything I did. Mind me, they're still alive, so I don't know how the food came out that evening, but they are alive today. I cook from my traditional Dominican food to Asian food, Italian food, American food, you name it, I will cook it. But there is one important ingredient that I find that everyone should keep in mind when you cook. And that ingredient is love. When you cook from the bottom of your heart, regardless what you do, it will come out good and tasteful. I have a very unique way of cooking. I do not measure, nor do I write down my exotic recipe. So when people ask me, how do you do this? I struggle because I cannot give them any sorts of measurement. I tell them what the ingredients are, but I can't tell them what is in it, how much of what. I believe that in our life, we have to be a little disorganized to balance ourselves. And cooking is something that I cherish and love because I like to throw things and come up with things at the spur of the moment. Hopefully people will enjoy it. I then proceeded and asked my children, hey guys, what do you think about me going and speaking this evening? And they said, oh Mom, you'll be fine. Talk about your accomplishments, talk about how strict you are, talk about anything that comes into your mind, but remember, talk about us. I said, guys, time out. It's not about you, it's about me, Mom, remember? So my 16-year-old son comes to me and says, Mom, you know that we're proud of you, so you can talk about us. I said, you know what, you're very slick, but okay. I have a 36-year-old daughter. I have a 27-year-old son. I have a 16-year-old son, and I have 2 grandkids. One is 12 years old and the other one is 9. Wow. I can't talk about them too much because I will never finish today. My fellow Toastmaster, if right now I stand before you and I talk of myself, it will be a lifetime. And I guarantee you that you do not have that today. So I could just be very brief and tell you, I am silly. I love being around people. I enjoy helping them. I believe that you must treat people the way you want to be treated. So I treat people with respect and admiration. I admire what they do, what they work for, and I value them, provided that they're not a psycho or some kind of extremist or that will be a negative individual. Today, fear tried to stop me from presenting to you all. I was just about not to come over here. I thought of all sorts of excuses. But guess what? I said, enough is enough. And this evening, I thought of stamping fear and just ending with it once and for all. Fellow Toastmaster, thank you so much.